Welcome back. 2 videos in one day. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm sure there's enough to list. Don't list them in the comments. I'm back. I'm back to show you guys and gals some great deals on Diagnostics today. So something I don't talk too much about on the Facebook page, and mainly that is because it takes a while to talk about. So if you want to get to the meat and potatoes of it, I guess just look for when the screen's in front of the video, and then skip to that. So long story short, there's plenty of different scan tools. I'm going to be featuring our Apollo D9. So this is a brand new scan tool. It is currently only in a loaner mode. We're going to have the actual sellable units on the truck in the next few weeks. If you want one or you want pricing on it, message me and I'll make sure to give you the up-to-date sale price. We did just buy some at the tool show that we were virtually at over the weekend. So without further ado, we're going to start from the bottom. We're going to start from, of course, not on. You can see the camera. We're doing a little bit of video inception right now. I'll try to get that reflection out of it. But long story short, power button. This is your hot link button, so you can set this to do many different things. You can set it to screenshot, you can set it to video record, anything. So keep in mind with that. Your directional pads, if you don't want to use the actual touch screen, which this touch screen is pretty special compared to our other scan tools, but we'll get to that. And of course, your yes and your no. Those have been on our scan tools since the dawn of time. It's pretty simple. There's no gray area. You're either a yes or you're either a no. So we're going to start off by powering it up. First of all, extremely quick startup time. This thing boots up in, well, quicker than you can probably open the door and find the OBD2 port. So you get 6 options on this one. You have your quick lookups, your OBD2 direct. So this is basically like your generic code reader, your bidirectional scan tool over here, and then all your I'll call it your back end stuff. So you get your previously viewed data, previous vehicles, training and support, which is really nice. There's actually videos built into this one. So if you have any issues, you can actually refer to it. It's almost like an online training manual as is. And then your tools. What I'm going to be going through is just your scan tool application on this, mainly because, like I said, we could be here hours. But this scan tool is very I'd say unique because not only is it a bidirectional scan tool, which means you can basically actuate almost everything on the vehicle, from turning the headlights on to putting the windows up to actuating the wipers, basically everything. But it also has something called Intelligent Diagnostics in it, which is a filtering program that only Snap-on has. It's a very unique thing, and we'll get into that right now. So we hit scan tool. For one, you'll notice how quick it is. Now, about this new screen, our old scan tools were pressure sensitive, so it couldn't tell if you were swiping or touching. The new ones, you can actually swipe with it, so you don't have to worry about using your directional pads like you would on an older scan tool, or tapping at the bottom here. It'll basically allow you to swipe as if it is your cell phone, basically, cell phone screen. So we're going to go into demonstration here, and basically what that means is it's acting as if it's already hooked up to a vehicle. Where I'm on the truck, unfortunately, my smart car wouldn't fit on the back, so we can't plug into that today. But if you do want a real world demo, by all means, let me know and I'll show up on time for you. So just going to go into a Chevy because obviously there's a few more Chevys around than BMWs. Toyotas as well. If you want to see the demo, I can do that as well. Like this video if you want to see more of this content as well. So Chevy, we're going to click on there. We're going into a 2016 Tahoe. You'll notice how quick this is as well. This is real-time stuff, so it's not because it's preloaded in or anything. This is how quick it actually works. And also over here, you can just hit your yes button. So we're going to do a code scan. We're going to start this from the bottom. So we're going to do a pre-scan as if the vehicle's just coming in. And you'll see that little line. Now that's cruising along there. That's keeping in mind that there's actually around, and keep in mind I'm stalling right now, There should be about 25 modules, I believe, in this vehicle that it's actually scanning individually. And just like that, it's done. So, where this is a demo, it's going to give us some little information as we go. But on this virtual vehicle, you have two different codes. You have your P0300 and your P0446. Evap code, misfire code. Now, if you want more information, this is where this scan tool changes. So this is your Intelligent Diagnostics page. Gives you your most commonly replaced parts. So obviously you're going to probably look at your yellow line first, where it has more repairs than any other one. And if we look on that, if I focus in, we'll try to get this here. You'll see that that says replace spark plug wire. Obviously on a misfire code, that's where you go first. Now, it could be coil cord, coil on another vehicle. It could be something completely different. Each one is specific to the vehicle, to the code. So it's not going to have a generic thing where it says on all misfire codes, it's going to be the spark plug first. But obviously, it's a fairly generic issue, and usually the spark plug is that issue. Now, you probably noticed down below here, you actually have a TSB button. So this is up to date. Obviously, if you were behind on your updates, you wouldn't get the same information or at all. But fully up to date, you get any known TSBs for that vehicle on that code. So right then and there, you could stop working on the vehicle. You might be good and say, hey, this can go to the dealer. This is something that I can put on the back burner and let someone else deal with, or something that you might want to get on top of right away if parts are on back order, so on and so forth. But to know if those parts are on back order, you're going to need to know what parts need to be replaced. And with this TSB information, we'll go down through, obviously, pictures. It would be as if you're looking at a computer screen. It actually shows you everything you need to. So obviously this one's a fairly short TSB. It tells you all your makes and models that are related, so on and so forth. Once you're done that, you can hit your no button or just your back button up here. And then you can look at any of the other TSBs that may be related to the issue that you're having. We go all the way back to your landing screen, and as you notice, it was only 2 clicks. You're right back to where you started with that Intelligent Diagnostics landing screen. You'll see this a lot if you are scanning vehicles. Now, below that TSB, you're going to see Smart Data. My favorite part, because obviously, as you can tell by my videos, sometimes not the most professional. I have not scanned a lot of vehicles in my day, but I can also tell you that this has saved a lot of people time, because on a vehicle, on a P0300 code, a lot of people know exactly what data you're going to want to look at. But if that code is more obscure, or if that code is something that you think you know the answer to, but you're not sure, so you want to check data on it, live data on the vehicle, you're going to have to go through and actually select each individual PID list or your individual data that you want to look at list. This scan tool filters it for you, and not only does it filter it for you, you'll hear it in a second. It takes a second. Headphone warning. Don't worry if it is going to do it. You're going to want to turn your volume down. You'll hear the beep right there on time. So what that beep tells you is there's some data, one of these PIDs, and obviously we know which one it is, but one of these PIDs is out of manufacturer's specification. And what that means is there's an issue with the min or max values that the vehicle is outputting compared to what it should be doing and what the scan tool is reading. So you'll see there's a little red flag telling you which problem child you have to deal with and which information you're having issue with. So obviously you see it counting up over here. That's the amount of misfires on that cylinder. Now you could have 2 or 3 cylinders misfiring, but right now you're only having cylinder 2 misfiring. So it gives you a place to start. Obviously, if you have one of our Snap-on scan tools, you can get into this same information, but with this one, it actually does it a lot quicker. It's already filtered for you, so you don't have to sift through hundreds of different PIDs just to get to that information. Now, let's say all that other information you want to see, you hit your no button once, and you're back to your Smart Data list that we were just in. But you can also go in engine data, your misfire data, anything else that they've made custom PID lists for, or all your data at once, whatever you want to look at. We go back one more time, back to that familiar page. Last thing, I promise you, I won't keep you here all day. I've already spent 10 minutes of your time. Hopefully it's been worth it so far. But last but not least, your functional tests and reset procedures. The last thing, and I'm going to show you my face on this one because I want you to know I'm being truthful. I don't want you guys to buy these scan tools or gals as a code reader. These things do so much more, and like I was saying before about bidirectional controls, these things will do so much more than just read the codes and clear the codes. And this is where you'll actually be able to see that. This is where the rubber meets the road. So we're talking that misfire code. You want to know what functional tests, reset procedures, what you can actually do to diagnose that vehicle further. So on every other scan tool, you'd have to go back to your engine and then you'd pick whichever functional test you wanted. It's just generic. It doesn't lead you in any direction. It doesn't tell you what recommended tests would be. This one does. So you'll notice you got your different compression tests and then your injector actuations, I guess we'll call it. What you're actually doing is shutting down your injector to make sure that, make sure that the injector isn't the issue, or making sure that it is the issue. Along with your ignition timing test as well. They're all in there. And of course, any other tests that you might want to do, but they are not related, or at least that are known to be related to that code that you have. So it's a filtering process where it saves you a lot of time. It helps you find things that otherwise you might not know that are in the scan tool. And of course, best thing is if you have a vehicle that you've never dealt with before, you can actually diagnose it as if you've worked on it 100 times before, because these tools have worked on it and it keeps that data inside of it. Last things last, it does give you your sure track, most commonly replaced parts, causes, corrections, and complaints. So if you have a complaint that doesn't have a code, something along those lines, you might be able to get some information out of it that way as well. Going back one page further, obviously you can go into your other code, take a look at that as well. So it loads every code separate and all the data separate. So you'll notice the most commonly replaced part on this one is replaced evap canister vent solenoid. So it might be something different on say a 2007 or a 2008, but most commonly replaced on this one out of say about 70 repairs was that. So hopefully that sheds some light on our probably, I'm gonna say our most sold scan tool of the year. And I'm saying that before we even sell any because of how handy this thing is. Hopefully this gives you a little bit of information. If you guys want to see any more information on these, let me know. I can either call you, I can send you a video of what you're looking for to see if it'll do a certain test on a certain vehicle. These things do an amazing amount of work. Of course, I showed you what it'll do when you already have a code. If you're trying to do something different, just a functional test as it is, you can do that as well. So say if you wanted to learn a new key fob, or you wanted to do TPMS work, you can do it with this scan tool as well. It's just on the code related data, we've really filtered it down and made life a lot easier for you guys. If you want to see any more, let me know. Have a great rest of your evening, and I hope to hear from you. Bye.